What's up, guys? Your favorite human male, back again. As promised, I'm giving YouTube content a shot, so let me know in the comments if you enjoyed the video and also what you'd like to see more of in the future. I'd really appreciate your feedback. Today, I'll be going over the fundamentals of how your basic Fury Warrior multi-target abilities work. I'll mostly be focusing on how you should be positioning yourself and the range that you have on these abilities. We'll go over Cleave, an ability that replaces your next main hand swing and hits your current target plus one additional target. Whirlwind, an ability that hits up to 4 targets with both your main and your offhand weapon. And Sweeping Strikes, which will make your next 10 hits strike an additional time on a nearby opponent. 2 to 4 target Cleave is the bread and butter for Fury and what we're best at. So understanding how your Cleave abilities function is very important. Alright, so this first clip is going to be a demonstration of how the second hit of your Cleave, Whirlwind and Sweeping Strikes, are actually based off of your character's position. Keep a very close eye on the animations on the dummies. You'll see that these abilities will always hit the targets that are closest to my character's model. This essentially means that we can manipulate which targets our Cleaves, Whirlwinds, and Sweeping Strikes are going to hit. Alright, so once again, let's keep a close eye on the animations. You'll see that my Whirlwind here, it'll hit the 4 closest dummies. It will not hit the 5th one, that's the farthest away. And as I just change my character's model and move around, you'll see that the Cleave, the second hit will always hit the target that is closest to my character's model. And keep in mind, Sweeping Strikes has the exact same mechanic as Cleave. The only difference is that Sweeping Strikes it doesn't matter if the target is behind you or not, but Cleave, the target actually has to be in front of you and closest. That's the only two differences from these. So it's really easy, as you see in this clip, for me to just control which target I want to be hitting with my second hit of Cleave, with just simple positioning and character movements. And as I just said, you can do this with Sweeping as well as Cleave. Now that you know that the second hit of your Cleave is actually based off of your character's model and not the enemy's, I want to show you how you can use this information to get extremely long-range Cleaves off. Probably much longer than you realized was possible. I have a couple examples for you in this clip here of how obviously not to do it and then how to position to get the longest range Cleave possible off. Here's an example clip of how you can use this in a raid environment. You can actually cleave the ads on Shade of a Comma. There can be many other situations that this can be helpful, especially when tanks are trolling and not stacking ads very well on trash. One thing I would like to note though, this isn't super useful with Sweeping Strikes, as Sweeping actually has a very short range. So when you're trying to get long range cleaves off, don't try to stack it with Sweeping. If you want to get the longest range possible Cleave, you need to be positioned almost exactly like I am in this picture. You cannot be exactly parallel to the mob you want to cleave off of, or else your auto attack won't go off. You need to be the farthest possible away from them and positioned slightly behind them into the side. This picture is about the longest possible range cleave you can get off, and you have to position almost exactly like this. Shade of a Comma was also a good example. And last but not least, we have Whirlwind range. This is specific to Whirlwind only. It doesn't apply to Cleave, but Whirlwind actually benefits from leeway a little bit. So anytime you jump and then press Whirlwind, you will actually get a couple yard extension on the range of your Whirlwind. So anytime you're trying to get a long range Whirlwind off on mobs that are really separated, make sure you're always jumping. Just adds a little bit of free extra range to your Whirlwind. as you can see in the clip, I've been standing still. If I don't jump, my whirlwind will not hit the dummies, but if I jump, I do get damage off on them. So last but not least, I have a short clip of my council fight from last week. I wanted to just give an example of how to actually put this in practice in a raid environment. So we're stacking all the mobs, but the rogue gets bopped, and I still want to cleave onto Melande. So what I do is I just make sure that my character model is positioned closest to Melande as I cleave off Gathos. So I don't get any of my damage immuned by the bopped rogue. So that's it for the video. Please, if you enjoyed, make sure to leave a comment. I'd really appreciate any feedback on if this was helpful and if you guys enjoyed it and want to see more. So thanks again for watching, and I'll catch you guys next time.